All right, let's talk about a piece of tech you use literally every second you're online, but you've probably never actually seen it. It is the hidden engine of the entire internet, and today we're going to pull back that curtain and figure out what exactly is an API. So you ever just stop and wonder how your apps, well, how they just know things? Like how does your weather app pull up the forecast for your exact spot in seconds? Or how can you be on some random website and just click a button to pay with PayPal? It all feels so seamless, doesn't it? Almost like magic. But, spoiler alert, it's not magic.
The answer, the thing making all of this work, is this kind of hidden hero called an API. It's like an invisible messenger that's constantly running around behind the scenes, connecting all these different services together.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around what an API is, let's start with a really simple idea. Just think of it as a super efficient digital messenger. Now, the full name is Application Programming Interface, which, yeah, sounds super technical, I know. But let's just push all that jargon aside for a minute. At its core, an API is just a messenger. That's it. It's something that lets two totally different pieces of software talk to each other. It's part translator, part delivery service, all rolled into one.
And you know, to make this concept really click, there's a perfect analogy that everyone gets. Let's think about ordering food at a restaurant. I mean, think about the whole process, right? You sit down, you look at the menu, you figure out what you want to eat. Then you call the waiter over and place your order. That's your request. The waiter then takes that request back to the kitchen. The kitchen does all the complicated stuff, chopping, cooking, all of it. And then finally, the waiter brings that finished plate of food back to you. And that's the response.
Okay, so let's just map that whole scenario to the digital world. In this analogy, you're the user of the app. The kitchen, with all its chefs and ingredients and chaos, that's the system. You know, the big server or the database where all the data is stored. And the waiter, well, you guessed it, the waiter is the API.
And here's the most important part. You never have to go into the kitchen, right? You don't need to know how the oven works or tell the chef how to cook. You just give your simple request to the waiter, and they handle all that complicated back and forth. An API does the exact same thing, but for software.
All right, now that you've got that waiter analogy locked in your brain, get ready. Because you are about to start seeing APIs absolutely everywhere in your daily life. Seriously.
For instance, every single time you check the weather on your phone, your app is sending out a little waiter, the API, to a giant weather system, asking, hey, what's the forecast for this spot? And then that API waiter just brings the data right back to your screen.
Or how about when you're shopping online and you hit that Pay with PayPal button? The website is using an API to talk to PayPal's system. It's basically saying, hey, this person wants to pay you this much. PayPal does its thing securely, and the API just brings back a simple message like, yep, we're all good. It's paid. And the best part? The website never even sees your credit card info.
And you know that super convenient login with Google button? Total API. Instead of making yet another password you're going to forget, the new app just sends an API request to Google, basically asking, hey, is this person legit? Google's system says yep, and the API relays that message back, and boom, you're logged in. Simple as that.
Now think about a single app, like YouTube. It's a fantastic example because it's not just using one API, it has a whole team of these waiters running around. There's one waiter that goes and fetches the video you want to watch. There's another one that's constantly running back and forth checking for new comments. And when you upload your own video, that's a completely different waiter, a heavy lifter, taking your file and delivering it safely to YouTube's massive kitchen, servers.
So you can imagine, with all these digital waiters running around, things could get pretty chaotic, right? Well, for this whole system to work, they have to follow a very specific set of rules.
And this is where that technical definition from the beginning starts to make a lot more sense. Remember, an API is a set of rules and methods. It's basically the restaurant's menu. It defines exactly what you're allowed to order and how you have to ask for it. You can't just ask for something that's not on the menu.
And just like a big restaurant might have different kinds of staff, there are different types of APIs. You've got public APIs, which are like a food truck's menu, posted right on the side for any developer to use. Then there are private APIs, which are just for internal company use. Think of it as how the head chef communicates with the kitchen staff. And the most common type you'll find on the web is something called a REST API. We don't need to get lost in the weeds on that. Just know it's a super common, really efficient type of waiter for the internet.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. Why does any of this matter? Well, it's because APIs are, and this is no exaggeration, the invisible engine that drives the entire modern internet.
The benefits are just massive. For starters, they save developers a ton of time, since they don't have to reinvent the wheel for every single feature. They would allow all the apps we love to actually work together. Plus, like we talked about with online payments, they make things way more secure by acting as that trusted middleman. And all of that together, it lets companies innovate, automate, and grow like crazy.
You know what? Let's go back to that restaurant one last time, because there's one more crucial point. The waiter isn't just there to take your order. They're also the gatekeeper. They're the one who keeps you, the customer, out of the busy, complicated, and potentially dangerous kitchen. An API does the exact same thing. It protects the complex, valuable kitchen of an application, making sure only specific, safe requests are allowed to get through.
So APIs have already connected our social lives, our money, our entertainment, pretty much everything. They are the foundation of this interconnected digital world we live in. Which really just leaves us with one big, fascinating question to think about. What parts of our world will they connect next?